Hi, my name's Liam. I'm Commercial Director at Broadcast Radio here in the UK. We're a software company that developed the Myriad Playout system. We're also AEQ's distributor in the UK and a systems integrator. And I'm here today to give you a little insight into how we have used AEQ technology coupled with Dante Audio over IP to change the way we approach system integration. Prior to working with AEQ, we resold an American digital mixing desk which used a proprietary audio over IP solution. So when we switched to AEQ, we had to learn a bit about Dante and how we could use it in our system integration and studio packages, as well as interfacing it with our Myriad Playout system. Thanks to the Dante virtual sound card, there was no integration work required to make Dante work with Myriad Playout. We simply installed the drivers and the devices appeared in the drop-down lists in Myriad. A little more work was required to make Myriad Playout natively compatible with AEQ mixing desks. We started by adding in some native features via UDP, as well as expanding our hardware service to be able to natively talk to AEQ equipment using virtual GPI and virtual GPOs. Armed with just a basic understanding of Dante and a good knowledge of AEQ equipment, we undertook our first major project using Dante as the primary way of distributing audio for Lynx Group. The Lynx Group studio refit consisted of 4 on-air studios, plus a newsroom studio and a production studio. This was to service 4 radio services. Any of the studios had to be able to broadcast to any of the services, and the production studio had to be able to broadcast to any of the services as well. We also needed to bring in external sources to all the studios, as well as distribute the audio to the various transmission chains. As you can see, aside from a few analog sources such as microphones and outputs to speakers and headphones, virtually everything in this setup was using Dante. We use Dante for talkback between studios, as well as getting signals from the mixers to the racks, and of course from the playout system to the mixer. To achieve this, we ran 3 separate networks: an office network, the Myriad Playout network, and of course the Dante and AEQ network. For audio signal routing, we used the AEQ Netbox 32 coupled with their RTC software to enable real-time audio routing controlled via Myriad Playout. Despite the complexity of this project, we didn't encounter any major hurdles, and Lynx FM were able to launch their 4 stations on time and on budget. We also offer a range of pre-built studio packages which we converted to use AEQ equipment and Dante audio over IP. The compact nature of the AEQ equipment, coupled with the reduced wiring requirement using Dante, meant we were able to provide systems like this SR2 Digital, where everything is included in a 3U rack suspended underneath the woodwork. Other projects such as this UR7 allowed us to combine a fully functional radio studio into a very compact format. But what benefits are there to audio over IP for system integration? The simple answer is it is easier to install, easier to design for, and easier for the customer to support. Consider a simple challenge: taking news from an external source and making it available automatically in any studio that is on air. This diagram shows a typical way it might be solved in a traditional radio station. As you can see, the audio comes in, it then goes into a distribution amp, and then is wired to each of the studios. You also need some type of audio switcher to allow you to switch the automated news on and off and control from your playout system. On the face of it, this diagram looks fairly simplistic, but you have to understand that you have to run a lot of audio cabling between the 2 studios, between the playout system and the studio mixers, and also back to the racks room in order to achieve it. Now let's consider how we may achieve the same results in a Dante-enabled station. The analog news feed comes into a Dante interface, which is connected to a network switch. The playout system in each studio is also connected to the network switch, as is the mixing console. The only piece of analog audio wiring required is a feed from the news system into the Dante interface. In this specific example, we've also eliminated the need for the audio switch, as Myriad Playout is able to use virtual I/O to trigger salvos on the mixing desk that can add the news feed directly to the PGM bus. On the face of it, this diagram doesn't look a lot more simple than the previous one. However, almost all the cabling here is standard network infrastructure, making installation much quicker and simpler, and also making it much easier for the end customer to be able to maintain their system. Working with AEQ and Dante Audio over IP has allowed us to deliver cost-effective, innovative solutions to broadcasters of all types and sizes. If you'd like to know more, you can always email us at hello@broadcastradio.com, or why not visit our website, broadcastradio.com. Thanks for listening.